when it all came down, we asked the question, how are we going to get out of this? We have established that certain thoughts is things. You change your way of thinking, and if you just take a group of us to think a certain way, we can get out of this thing. We can make this thing crumble. So how do you think a certain way? Through understanding, and wisdom and understanding comes through knowledge. So that means we got to get to the point where we set aside at least 30 minutes a day or an hour a week or some part to read a certain amount of knowledge. That means in order to read this kind of knowledge, you got to have the damn materials. And so that means is now I need to stop and preface this because I see when we come in, that's not enough for me to get some doggone money because I've already realized I'm going to be broke. That's just the bottom down line. If I can get some goddamn rent or whatever kind of shit, because I sacrificed for that thing. Like I said, I gave up $1 million job. And so some people say, well, why can't you do things to make the kind of money that you want? Because what happened with me is psychologically, after I made it and I went to New York and them crackers gave me all that money and said, we're going to give you this $500,000 to do this. And when I walked away from that, psychologically, I can't go back into that now. I can't do it now because the simple fact that I was already there. It's another thing if I never did that. But so now I can't, when it comes to making a certain amount of money, and there's certain things that I can do, I mentally can't force myself to do it for the simple fact that, I had to literally take some time out because she called me to damn Xerox these things. You see what I'm saying? Because, just to give it to you and all, but the point I'm trying to make is, psychologically, I realize there's a certain amount of things I'm just going to be that way. So what I'm trying to say is I'm not trying to make no sales pitch. But the key is the only thing, your only weapon, just like Leonard Jeffrey say, is you're going to shoot with ammunition. And your ammunition is not necessarily guns, it's your mind because your mind has a melanin in it and it's the type of stuff that can move the mountains. So therefore, we're talking about it's crucial that you get these books. That's the reason why, take for instance, let me just stop right. That's the reason why a man can come to town. We got all these people into consciousness. This man comes to town summer of 1994. Says he's Allah. My name is Solomon, and Allah, I'm Allah. And the first Allah was 99, I'm 100. And he says he's Allah and all of this, and he is God. And he came to town one day in 1994, 2 days in 1994, and after he got through, he had 20 or 30 people following a motherfucker with no teeth in his mouth. A damn stranger that they didn't even know 2 days before, following them, calling him God. And it's been damn near 3 years, and he said he's gonna do all this. I'm saying, if you God, why the hell we still suffering? You see what I'm saying? And they calling themselves God. But the reason why they can do that is because the simple fact we refuse to read and study to know thyself approved, as the Bible says. Blessed are those who read. Our people perish from what?
For a lack of self-education. For a lack of KOS.
Of knowledge. So now we got to the point where some brother asked me, he said, well, hell, man, I wonder if all this stuff, this science that you talking about, all these books and stuff, is real. We know that in actuality the white man would never put out real knowledge. I said, no, the white man understood. The white man kept knowledge 10, 20, 30, 40 years ago. You couldn't get a certain amount of things. But he understood there was a certain amount of things. They kept people in ignorance, black and white, long enough till there'll come a time when and give them a substitute like money, false pride, education, and different things until long enough, if they keep you on that lower level, when they can put out all these books and stuff, you will kick and scream not to read this shit. You would reject it. So what I'm trying to say is it's key now. We need to get this particular stuff. It's no excuse. Now I'm saying I'm saying it's one thing to not have no money. We understand. That's what we're dealing with. But if you got some money, it's key to buy the book, even if you don't read the book now. When you get to the point where you say, I want to study, you need a certain amount of materials in your house. You see the materials in your house. My library is huge. I mean, every book, I got books and most of the books you can't even get. So the thing about it is, I buy these books, and I mean, I got tons and tons of stuff. But the key is not only buy this stuff just to go home and read this book like a novel. You got to have a certain amount of materials in your house, so when you retire to study, you can have a certain amount of things. So what I'm trying to say is it's key right now that the light and the knowledge is the stuff that's going to do this. Once you start thinking a certain way, this stuff starts coming faster. You see what I'm saying? Coming down faster. So in order for you to think a certain way and stuff, it's not a matter of how you personally feel, it's what knowledge that you have. And the key, what I'm saying is most people can get over on us, like I was talking about to Solomon, is because they can come up in here and they can tell you a certain amount of things and you follow them, but they'll never tell you that there are no secrets. And all the knowledge that anybody got, you can get right now based on just going in and studying. Now, we know that some of the books is written and some of the stuff you got to take with a grain of salt, but your spirit will automatically tell you what's right and wrong. You'll automatically know when to crack a line, because he done lied so fucking much until you know when he's telling a damn lie. So that's not the point when you read the books. The white boy is the one that's writing the books because they made him the custodian of the knowledge, was because they knew simply that this particular white boy, they knew that in actuality we wasn't going to be able to print no books or do the kind of research and stuff because they got all the shit hid. So now all of this particular stuff has been coming out where the government say, let it all out since 1985. This stuff has started flooding the market. And now, but they knew that they can count on you not damn capitalize on it because they know that you ain't going to read nothing. And the point is one thing, and there's no excuse to say, well, I can't understand the big words. We got videos now, audios, you understand what I'm saying? There's so much things. We even give a list of movies. So these are things that we need to actually start dealing with in our.
And that's why you see the documents on the screen for study, for you to read and to study. We must educate ourselves, community, every day, all the time. With that being said, get KOS. With all I get KOS.